Greetings, everyone. I am Lunar Kitten Zero, and yes, I tried an orc opening. That is my orc greeting to you all. I have been playing Shoot Us Blood and Teeth. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's on the channel. Yeah. So we are continuing our journey into every single Warhammer faction re-explained by Bricky Part 2. And in the last one, we learned about the Dark Mechanicum and the Custodes and the orcs. The orcs stole the show. I mean, I can't help it. They're just too fun, and I love my boys. But yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I do have a little treat, so stay tuned for the end of the video. I will show you guys all a new chibi. Yes, I drew another chibi. I hope you guys enjoy it, but if you want to cheat and skip to the end of the video, I don't blame you. But we're going to go ahead and dive right on in. I can't wait to find out what we're going to learn this time. I don't even look at the little thing, so I have no clue what is coming up. So let's check it out. If I can click and make it start.
I carry with
Agents
me
of the Imperial.
Inquisitorial seal. It is a small, unassuming object contained in a neat box of Pluvian obsidian. It is a modest thing, relatively plain, adorned with a single motif and a simple motto. Yet with this little object, I can sign the death warrant of an entire world and consign 1 billion souls to oblivion. Where the Imperium may see its justice dealt out by the hands of its armies and the gauntlets of its Astartes, when one needs eyes, ears, or both cut out, it looks to the agents of the Imperium. In a meta sense, these agents are a homogenized version of multiple factions from the original video 5 years ago. They comprise multiple aspects of the wide and all-encompassing armies of humanity and serve different roles. Whether it be the law enforcers of the Adeptus Arbites, the void-faring explorers of rogue traders, the invisible hand of the Assassinorum, or the hospitality of the Emperor's Inquisition.
Okay. Already seen that this is going to be interesting, but yeah, come on. You guys know I had to stop here, right? I mean, come on. Look at that. I love it. And you know what? I got so distracted by art. I don't even know what he just said. Let's back it up a second and see what he just said. I love this one too. It sort of looks like a spy assassin type. Probably is. I just like the stealth suit. It's just awesome.
The Assassinorum, or the hospitality of the Emperor's Inquisition.
Okay, if that's what the Inquisition wears, okay, I'm down for it. I like this so much that I am going to attempt to draw this armor now. This is really cool. If this is fan art of it, awesome. If this is official art, awesome. Either way, I need to look this up. I like the hat. I'm a sucker for a good hat. If you guys saw my character in Final Fantasy 14, which I've never shown, but if you had ever seen it, she wears most times a hat that's like that. Nice big hat, like my hats. But with the sword, yeah, I'm loving this. I'm trying to figure out what's on her back. It sort of looks like muffler pipes for like an engine. Is that like a jetpack, or could be like a pipes of like a pipe organ kind of style? Not really understanding that part, but yeah, I'm liking this. And this cybernetic eye, that's I'm now excited to learn this. I was excited before, more so now. This, yes please. It actually looks like my character in oh, what is that game I play? It's an RPG. I will get the name. Wrath of the Righteous. Path of the Exile? No, I think it's not Path of the Exile. I forgot the name. But I know part of the title is Wrath of the Righteous, and they have Kingmaker before that. I just can't remember the first beginning of the title because I have so many RPGs. They're all mixed in my head. I confuse it with like Divinity or Baldur's Gate and all that, and it just becomes one big blur. But that looks like I think it was an Inquisitor in that as well that I made. I made a vampire Inquisitor because I wanted to be a vampire, obviously. But yeah, I'm liking this. I'm completely in love with this outfit. This is up my alley. Yep, I'm hearts right here. This hearts. Love, 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 love. Sanguinius understands. Love, love, love this. I love Sanguinius, but love this. We'll continue.
Each has a part to play in the God Emperor's domain. Rogue traders are a great example of a somewhat undiscussed part of the Imperium.
Before he continues with the road traders, traders, I can speak. Shout out to the people who have been commenting and mentioning the game Rogue Traders. It is actually a game my friend enjoys. I have not bought it yet, but I am seriously considering it. Now that I've played Shooter's Blood and Teeth, definitely am starting to get an itch for more Warhammer games. If you guys do like that and want to see me play Warhammer games, leave a comment. And also on the by other games there, so I know what you guys want to see. I love gaming and I'm not going to give it up. So you will get these, my little brain scratches for lore, but I will still continue gaming. So you'll have both here. And also the head emblem with the light. Holy crap, that's cool. Right through the skull's eyes. And through the bird's eye over there too. I didn't know one. Is there supposed to be a eye hole on the other side? I'm assuming there should be. Okay, I just like the imagery here.
Its nobility. While you may see the General Imperium as a totalitarian hellscape, because it is, this is to those under the boot of the nobles that run it. Rogue traders are a special kind of explorer, and their existence is extremely important to the function of the Imperium. A rogue trader is often an extremely special individual and is given the monumentally sized warrant of trade, allowing them to be given almost complete and utter freedom.
Cool. So rogue traders are explorers. I like that. And they're a vital part, I think he said, to the Imperium. So, and they have a type of freedom. So that is very interesting. It's very hard to talk with this background. My brain is like, focus on what you just heard. Stop staring at the picture. At the same time, I'm just like, this is so cool. The tube coming out of her head almost looks like a horn, which that's really kind of cool. Of course, you got the giant shoulder pads. Love it. And you got that skull over there with the mechanical eye. You got the scrolls in the mouth of these. Now, if I'm understanding from what I've been learning, there is these mechanicum, I believe, and that their skulls are like they were infused with tech, and when they die, their skulls basically become like data banks where you can still get information and knowledge from them. I don't know if they're still in that skull or if it's just the memories and the knowledge they had because of how much they bound with the machine. At least that's how I'm understanding what those were. I'm assuming these things are the same way, or maybe they're function like that, but not exactly like that. Either way, the whole setup's cool. I mean, it's even holding the book with one with the. I love that you got this tech, and then there's candles, and a quill. I mean, the mesh of two genres. This is what I live for. I love the meshing because logic would tell you that these two things shouldn't exist because if you have so much technology, why would you have such, quote, old technology like candles? But in a fantasy setting, or as my friend says, anything works if you write it well enough. Or in this case, draw and paint it well enough because this all works. Like, you're just so blown away by the beauty of it that it almost takes you a second to realize, wait, why is there a quill? in a book with candles. But then when you realize, oh, it's 40k, you're like, that's exactly why there's a quill and a candle. It makes sense, and that's what makes it beautiful. And I'm loving this. This is just awesome.
Their task is simple: to chart the uncharted, learn the unlearned, and do whatever they can as an explorer and conquistador for those back on Terra. This information is, strictly speaking, invaluable. Whether a sector can be settled and colonies built, or precious rare resources exist on a floating asteroid can be mined, or a long-lost Imperial world from the Age of Strife is recovered, it's all absolutely imperative. These rogue traders are faster than any other kind of Imperial armada, and therefore chart the direction of the entire society. Because of this...
Okay, so they're explorers that go out checking planets to see if they can be inhabited, or if they're lost, Imperium colony, and get it brought back into the fold. The closest thing I could relate this to, other than, what I think he said the early explorers, like, I found the new world, even though it's already been there, but yes, you found it. Would be, again, I'm using Final Fantasy 14 for this, in Shadowbringers, not Endwalkers, Shadowbringers. They introduced a side bit of information about Gleamers, I believe they're called. And they travel the world looking for new plants, new animals, new materials, whatever. And they bring it back. They capture the animal alive. They bring the plant back alive. And they have like this amazing underground like zoo. It's the best way to explain it. And it's where it's like being a giant library. It's where they're cataloging all of these. I won't explain why they're doing it because it is spoilers for that expansion. But it is awesome to see. So the Gleamers don't do it for the sake of discovering land and what to conquer. So that would be a little, or quote, take back. But so that's where they differ. But it's similar enough that that's how I can kind of see the rogue traders are. They're looking, they're exploring, they're finding new stuff, but at the same time they have a mission, which is different than, obviously the Gleamers. The rogue traders' mission is, can this be our planet? And is it a planet that used to be ours that we need to get back? So that is all. That's pretty interesting. And then if this drawing right here that's on screen is a rogue trader's outfit, man, I like the coat, and that I'm a sucker for that chest piece style. You can't tell from the way I draw my character here. But yeah, I like that. And now I'm just torn. It doesn't have the nice hat. See, if I had to pick one, I have to go with the hat because the other one sort of looks like a vamp hunter style. And yes, I know I'm cat girl vampire, but doesn't mean I can't appreciate a good look. And let's admit it, the hunters with the hats are always kind of cool. Now I understand why vampire hunters always look like that, because that's kind of like a Inquisition style. Huh. I made a connection today I didn't think of. I'll have to think more on that later. Let's continue.
Rogue traders are given a substantial amount of freedom. They have a ship and a crew of specialists, and can do things that would see any normal person shot. They can barter deals and even recruit Xenos races. They can explore areas strictly prohibited, and they can earn a vast amount of wealth and riches in doing so. This tends to make rogue traders a very long lineage, and their heirs take up the mantle of their house. By being explorers, they become fabulously wealthy, and some can become quite the assholes while doing so. But truly, much like a night pilot, a rogue trader is an exceptionally rich individual who can back it up. They are master swordsmen, explorers, merchants, settlers, diplomats, and everything in between. They chart a course and they set the grounds, which means they will need someone to defend them, and the prime choice for that...
Okay, before. Again, there's those skulls with the spine. I'm assuming that is what I learned before about the skulls having computer chips and access to knowledge. I am still a little confused if the person's technically still there or if it's just their essence on a computer chip. I say computer chip, I know I'm dumbing it down really hard. It's just basic for me to explain quickly and to comprehend. But either way, that background's really interesting.
Can be the Adeptus Arbites. Now, the Arbites are cops.
Arbites?
Judge Dredd-style cops, as their inspiration
Okay.
shows. Each planet will have their own members of local law enforcement, and most of them will settle many of the issues there and then. But when something requires a far more in-depth peacekeeping force, the Adeptus Arbites are brought in. Think local police versus the FBI. Arbitrators in the Arbites tend to focus heavily on stopping crime before it can become too much of a threat. A criminal gang or heretical uprising can be subdued quickly and efficiently by utilizing them and dealing with soon-to-be criminals, as they put it. They will tap into communications, create spy networks, do interrogations and sabotage, anything that helps the good of the Imperium and the law they seek to preserve. The Code of the Arbites is laid out entirely via the Book of Judgment.
Okay, I might have to back up because the whole headshot thing made me not pay attention for a second. And also, I'll show you what else broke my attention. Behind him, it's very hard to see behind Bricky, doggy. Cybernetic doggy? I don't know. I can't see its face. It's probably not cute, but I kind of want to pet it anyways. And I can see the Judge Dredd. I think it's called Judge Dredd. My brain is breaking. Style here. So these are basically, if I had to put it to what I could comprehend, would be like military police, the MPs. I think that's how I'm understanding their role.
The Code of the Arbites is laid out entirely via the Book of Judgment, a gigantic library of pages showing every single law from every single High Lord of Terra in the history of the Imperium.
Oh.
Because the Imperium is so vast, hundreds of laws are added every single day, and the library continues to grow with more and more laws and judgments. While Arbites themselves carry a small version called the Book of Law on their person, this does end up creating a system where the unjustly prosecuted will never escape their prisons. If an innocent is wrongly convicted, any form of legal counsel will need to go through the Book of Judgment to help get you out. Often these prisoners require hundreds of years of litigation in which they will eventually expire before they can be deemed wrongly convicted. Innocence is irrelevant. You have been judged guilty of transgressing the Lex Imperialis. Do not compound your guilt by evading punishment, as there are greater crimes, so are there greater sentences. Of course, should something go out of the hands of the Adeptus Arbites, there is always the silent hand of the Officio Assassinorum to take their place.
Okay. So, before we get into these guys, so they're basically judge and jury, maybe even executioner, depending on how it goes. So if they say you're guilty of a crime and you didn't commit that crime, you will die before they could ever prove you're innocent. So now a lot of you have told me that the custodies can't be corrupt. How easy is it to corrupt these guys? Because that just feels like there could be some very bad consequences to a person with that much power that can technically kind of go unchecked in a way. It's not exactly unchecked, but I don't know. It just feels like there's a flaw in that system somewhere. I can't exactly explain it, but I guess it's just I'm thinking down the road of there's so much backstabbing and cunningness that can happen, particularly among humans, that setting people up and getting them forever basically locked away until death wouldn't be that hard unless they're, I mean, I'm not saying they're not good at their job. They're probably really good at their job. They probably aren't corruptible, and they're probably use psychers to be able to tell guilt or innocence in some ways. maybe not. I don't know. He kind of breezed past this a little bit, so if you guys want to tell me more about that, feel free, because I feel like he should have spent a little bit more time on the police force, even though he's about to go on to this next part, which is probably part of the police force. Let's go back a bit, because, yeah. But, yeah, it's this part. And it seems like they even know. Like, innocence is irrelevant. So they're, like, once they've marked you as bad, you're bad. It is a dystopian future. So it wouldn't be a dystopian future if you didn't have a police force making sure things feel that way. At least from any movie and book I've read, it's usually how it always goes. You can't do things unless you got the power to back it up and do the things you need. That makes it dystopian. I'm rambling a bit. But yeah, feel free to explain this a little bit more to me, because that's a little confusing.
Are there greater sentences? Of course, should something go out of the hands of the Adeptus Arbites, there is always the silent hand of the Officio Assassinorum to take their place.
Assassinorum.
The Imperial
Oh, see, it was an assassin.
And these assassins are sent to dispatch important figures that would not normally be handled by...
Okay, I just realized in this picture, that is like a rope braid of maybe red hair, and if seriously that hair is that long, you know, I'll forgive you for having a bald head, even though I prefer the hair to stay that long, but that long of a red hair, that is awesome. That's actually really, really cool. And it's in a braid, so that's even just more wicked.
Simply sending waves and waves of guardsmen at it. The Assassinorum is headed by the Grand Master of the Assassinorum, who is a High Lord of Terra and perhaps...
Hold on. That guy with the sniper. In the game I'm playing, Shooter's Blood and Teeth, I thought there was a little dude shooting at me, so now I know what he's part of. I kept thinking that was a tiny assassin guy shooting at me. Now the game is... Now look at this. Learning this makes me appreciate the game more. Now I know when I go and play that game again, what's shooting me is the little assassin guys, because they are actually assassin guys. I can't say their name. It was really complicated. For me anyways. But now I know who you are. And I'm glad I shot you in the face with my rocket. Yeah. Us orgs don't like assassin shoot in face. Not good.
The shadiest individual in the entire galaxy. At his disposal are multiple types of assassins that all specialize in various things. Their training is extreme and absurd. Aspirant children are often subjected to Hunger Games style combat with each other on the ride over to the temple. Then you get low gravity, high pressure, traps, horrendous physical and mental strain, and everything in between. Then their minds are wiped completely and the real fun begins. An Imperial assassin...
First of all, is the girl with the red braided ponytail a special character? Because that's like two different images I saw. That's one. So, let me get this straight. They put kids on the way to the temple to become one of these assassins through a survival of the fittest. Hunger Games style. And then they go through some other stuff. But then at the end they wipe their mind. That seems counterproductive. A little bit. Because what if you wipe out the part that's the part you want, which is the high survivability? I'm assuming they don't. But I'm just over here like, shouldn't you have wiped their minds before you made them hunger style fight each other? That way you know the blank slate is still survivable? I'm over here trying to figure out a more efficient way to make assassins. It's a curse. I can't help it. I'm just thinking, what if the person is really, really inventive and quick adaptive and you wipe their mind and they forget how to be that way? Maybe it's instinctual and you can't forget it. Okay. I guess I'll buy that. But, I don't know. It's just, part of me just is like, that's a stupid thing to do. Don't erase the knowledge of the one that survives. Maybe the runner-ups that sort of survived-ish. I mean, I'm assuming more than one kid makes it. Because that would just be really bad turnover. Just like on the flight over, we brought 20 kids and only one made it. But then again, if you're an elite force of assassins, maybe that's not actually a bad number. Just thoughts I have.
Is nothing to mess around with. They are some of the fastest moving and hardest hitting things the Imperium has at hand, and can go toe to toe with Space Marines depending on which temple they are from. Some, like the Vindicares, are master snipers who lie in wait for weeks, days, or even months just to get the perfect headshot from 5 kilometers away and disappear. The Calidus Temple are masters of shape-shifting and take a drug that allows them to transmute their body into whatever they see fit. The confidant of a target may be killed and they will take their place before killing their target outright. Or they can...
So they're Mystique? From X-Men? They shapeshift into what they see, and boom boom, they take care of the target. Done. Okay, that's just kind of awesome. I mean, I liked Mystique, so I mean, who didn't like Mystique? I mean, there's a few people who probably didn't like her. Attitude, personality aside, powers were kind of cool, or at least the way they did it in the movies. I thought it was really cool. Not my favorite X-Men, in case you guys are wondering. I'm torn when it comes to favorites, because I really like Gambit. But out of the movies, I was kind of a sucker for Nightcrawler, and I actually have a giant, like 16-inch figure of him on a shelf. Maybe it's because I was partial to the actor and I kind of liked him. But if I had to take that out of the equation... everybody says Wolverine. Wolverine was kind of cool. I was kind of a Storm girl, but I prefer her with long white hair. Not the way they changed her hair up. I'm particular about that. And of course, Professor X was good. But yeah. Sorry, X-Men tangent. But yeah. So I didn't expect them to have shapeshifters. That's interesting. And I mean, it's a smart thing to have for a group of assassins, though. But now all I can see in my head is they have a mini army of Mystiques. And I'm, like, impressed, shocked, and just thinking that's completely awesome at the same time.
Shift into a member of a Chaos Warband with symbols and flesh and all that to earn the trust of a cult leader before slitting their throat. The Caluxus Assassin is a psychic blank, a soulless mutation, making them appear as uneasy to normal humans and downright disgusting to psychers. When a powerful psyker is causing issues, this is who you send. Their specialized helmet enhances their already latent powers and will allow them to all but drain the souls from those they touch and their very body. It is an extreme weapon used when a direct form of pressure must be applied to an otherwise untouchable psyker. Now, if you needed direct pressure in a more literal way,
Okay, so that must have been what some people in the comments have been talking about of how they deal with psychers. I know he's breezing over these real quick. I'm hoping down the line I get more into more 40k lore and I explain. You guys can keep explaining it in the comments. It'll help. But so it seems like there is a very good system of checks and balances. So if a psyker acts up, this is the counterbalance to that. If this acts up, this is the counterbalance to that. I like systems like that. I like very, very balanced systems like that. Very interesting. Definitely has my attention.
The Eversor is for you, a drugged up comatose psychopath that is directly dropped on enemy lines and allowed to wreak havoc, killing anything and everything it sees in a blaze of movement and blood before it inevitably dies and causes a plasma explosion on its demise. There are other temples as well.
What? Back that up a few times.
To an otherwise untouchable psyker. Now, if you needed direct pressure in a more literal way, the Eversor is for you. A drugged up comatose psychopath that is directly dropped on enemy lines and allowed to wreak havoc, killing anything and everything it sees in a blaze of movement and blood before it inevitably dies and causes a plasma explosion on its demise.
Oh,
there are
wow.
other temples as well. The Vanus Temple.
Okay, again, look at this artwork. This artwork is awesome. The lighting, the black outfit, the red, the mechanical face, it's almost like a skull. I'm in all of this. This makes me happy. This is things that I just completely and utterly enjoy. And yeah, so the blowing up thing there, that was definitely interesting. It was not something I expected. It was different and definitely had my attention. So, the things they have on the battlefield. Whew.
Temple acting as sort of like a cyber hacker. The Venom Temple specializing in poisons. But all in all, assassins move with their skin-tight body gloves with a speed unmatched and force unexpected. One of the best assassin novels puts a Vindicator Calidus and Vanus to infiltrate a night world, kill the High Monarch of the Night, who is permanently stuck in his giant robot knight, install a new ruler in his stead, and make sure nobody knows the Imperium did it. Their missions are insanity, and their tasks impossible, and they do it anyway. Thus is the power the Assassinorum wields. We do not determine the guilty, we do not decide the punishment. We are merely the cold instrument of the Emperor's vengeance. There is no form of death unknown to us. There is no form of terror beyond our means. There is no enemy outside our reach. We are the blade that hovers over the throat of the traitor. We are the bullet that awaits the heretic's skull. We are the poison in the throat of the alien.
Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. Assassins are cool, so I need to know in the comments if any of you are into this group, or you make the figures, or just really into the lore. Is it just, I know it's not just because they're cool. I'm sure there's other things that have brought you to fall for, like to love the assassins and enjoy them. Let me know your reasons. I'll tell you mine. I just think this is awesome. I just think it's cool. The outfits, the clothes, the speed. But then again, I played a little bit of Assassin's Creed back in the day. A little bit. That was the first game. I have not played any of them since. I sucked at the first game. I'm just bad at video games. I've played them, but I'm bad at them. But assassin characters are always fascinating. Their stories are usually, or sometimes complex, but you got that whole espionage thing. It's probably why I like James Bond, things like that. Who doesn't enjoy a good assassin story? James Bond, I don't think is technically an assassin. He's more of a spy, but it's in that flow. This is cool, and I love this quote. We are the bullet that awaits the heretic's skull. Wow. That is definitely a motto for a group of assassins. Definitely.
However, despite the prowess of the traitors...
Why? Every time I think I'm like, we're good to go, then I see another picture. I love this. My gothic self is just like, okay, a skull looking thing with a cape. It looks like it's got a reaper scythe. It's got like this armor that looks like it's bone. Yes. That makes me happy. You guys gotta tell me in the comments, what is this? Is this fan art? Is this an actual thing? Some type of reaper? Share. Tell me, because that is cool. I would not fangirl over this too much, but awesome.
The police and the assassins, there is one that stands above all.
Okay.
As the Imperium settled into its post-Emperor world, they needed a force to root out corruption wherever it could be found. But they needed specialized individuals who could do so. Men and women who would serve as detective and executioner. This new secret police would have unlimited authority, and they would be known as the Inquisition.
Oh.
Inquisitors of the Inquisition are one of the...
Okay, he said Inquisitors of the Inquisition. So if she's an Inquisitor... You know, sometimes people will be like, why do you like this particular group of the Warhammer thing? Okay, listen, I'm all about fashion. Not in real life, just in video games. Because in real life, I just wear plain clothes. But in video games, style. Gotta look good. Come on, man. That's just awesome looking. I would definitely walk around in a video game like this. I am now wanting to play Wrath of the Righteous so bad now. I wish I could remember the beginning name of that game. But yeah. I think it is Path of the Exile, but I'm not positive. I might be confusing that with something else. My darn RPGs are blending together still. But either way, I'm gonna attempt to draw something like this at some point. It's just too good.
The most feared individuals in all of the galaxy for the common members of humanity. Trained in the most difficult of conditions and mental hardening, they have long closed their minds to the compassions of those they deem guilty. Inquisitors are, for the most part, detectives, but they are detectives whose authority is unmatched and actions justified by the state itself. Similar to the KGB, the Gestapo, the Stasi, the OVRA, but unlike those organizations, the Inquisition has far more authority and is one of the only types of individuals who can commit exterminatus, the term used for the utter and total destruction of a planet that is no longer deemed usable by the Imperial. While it is a very...
Okay, that went a lot farther than I expected. I thought, okay, Inquisition. They judge you and they execute you based on a set of rules and laws or whatever they're following. So I was like, okay, yeah, they do that to people, organizations, group, planet. That's a bit to comprehend. And that's a lot of... No wonder people fear them. I thought, yeah, of course everybody fears the Inquisition. I know the... Okay, when it can wipe out your planet, yeah, fear is a proper feeling to have. Why did they give them that power? I mean, a single one can't make that decision, right? That had to be a group thing. Like, if an Inquisition says, I want to take out this planet, or Inquisitor says that, they have to get approval, right? They just can't just go, I made the judgment, I blew the planet up, and then go and report it. I'm assuming there's a process. I hope there's a process. Because that just sounds, I mean, it's scary. So, if it is not a process, good job at making that scary, because, wow, that is kind of a whole planet. Did not expect that. Nope, not at all.
Very exciting word and a commonly notable thing done in Warhammer, exterminatus is not actually used particularly often. It's a last resort entirely meant to stop the enemy from gaining a major foothold or spread even more corruption. Even with 1 million worlds, the wholesale slaughter of an entire planet is still a massive blow to the Imperial. Inquisitors range quite a bit, not just in how they operate, but also in their personalities. They are often main characters for a large amount of books, as detective noir is a great genre, and they can be the most stone-cold killer or a pragmatic and sympathetic individual depending on who they are. Radical Inquisitors may utilize methods unlike most of the Imperium, such as alien tech or even demon hosts, where Puritans stick closer to the methods of the religious state and shun any deviations. They also specialize in various aspects, as the Inquisition has orders, or ordos, such as Xenos for aliens, Malleus for demons, and Hereticus for, you guessed it. Truly, if you are a normal citizen of the Imperium, a person flashing an inquisitorial rosette in front of you may be one of the most terrifying moments of your entire life. It is the same as an FBI badge or a KGB member, except now you're in Warhammer. So, their authority and tools are infinite. Agents of the Imperium are vast and offer a ton of different concepts to the world of Warhammer. And they continue to expand as the Emperor's descent into the Golden Throne has lasting effects on humanity. As time progressed, a few people seeing the Emperor as a deity made their voices louder, and over a few thousand years, worship of the Emperor was not only considered expected, but state mandated. This church will be known as the Ecclesiarchy, and there were many who would look to the cardinal position and make desperate grabs at their power, leaving horrid effects on the populace. The Age of Apostasy was a time of reformation in the Imperium that saw its eventual change into an overtly religious empire. During this time...
Okay. I had so many thoughts, and then of all places I paused. So... there's so much we've covered up to this point. The agents, you got the assassins, you got the police, you got the inquisitors, and you have like these the inquisitors or the detectives. I'll definitely have to watch this again off camera. That was just so much, but some of this did sink in, like the ones that shapeshift that I call the Mystique-like group. That's how I'm going to remember them. The assassins. The sniping ones, those, because of my game, I knew they had a sniper gun. I wasn't crazy. Part of me was like, maybe it's just a really long gun. No, I was right. It was a sniper. They can take out planets as an Inquisitor. That's just mind-blowing. But it looks like now we're getting into the more religious area, which that's interesting because I've been excited to learn about the nuns with guns. And if this is a nun with gun, which I'm guessing, gee, I wonder if it's a nun with gun. I'm excited. Like I mentioned in one video, I did go to Catholic school, and I did actually know nuns, and they made me clean with my class their convent. I did it the most laziest way as possible to avoid it because I didn't think I should be punished with the rest of the class. Actually, none of us should. We just got in trouble for singing really, really loud and being disruptive kids because we figured we were in trouble. We were going to go out in a blaze of glory, so we all just started singing, and that got us on duty of cleaning the convent. But side story to the side there. Yeah. I never saw them in their habits, though. These nuns dressed normal, but I always did want to see them in the full outfit. So seeing this picture and seeing that is just like, oh, cool. There's the thing I never got to really see as a kid that I kind of wanted to. And, dude, they got guns. How can I not like this? This is going to be cool.
An all-female warrior cult to the Emperor called the Daughters of the Emperor were a bit more isolated.
Oh, Daughters of the Emperor. Okay.
However, as the ecclesiarchy began to take root, one Gush Van Dyer became the High Lord of the Administratum and noticed these warriors and felt they could be useful to him. Gush himself told these warriors that he was the voice of the Emperor himself and demanded they fire upon him to prove it. Having a little hidden force field that this warrior cult had never seen before, the bullet bounced off of him and showing him to be unharmed, truly blessed by the Emperor. This cult became known as the Brides of the Emperor and acted as his personal bodyguards and aides. However, Gush Van Dyer was a tyrant, and his horrendous...
What did he mean by that? Why did he put it in quotes? Was he dating, quote, dating the, brides? And if that's what he looked like, I'm failing my religion. Nope. I already follow somebody. He's sitting on my head. I fangirled that man. But, this, okay. I have too many thoughts and not sure where to begin. Because you had the Daughters of the Emperor. And this guy came along with a hidden force field, tricked them into believing he was the voice of the Emperor, and now they're the brides of the Emperor. And he says the guy's a tyrant. So this feels like a, quote, enemy group. In a way, if you're like Empire, this would technically be an enemy group because he is not the, being the voice of the Emperor. He's a liar and a tyrant. Things I don't think the Big E would have been cool with at all. And I also did notice on that nun with gun back there, she had wings, which just keep putting stuff on the picture that makes me happy. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Let's find out more about Creepy Guy Man here. He sort of looks like the vampire dude from Underworld. The one that wakes up. Now I can't unsee it. That's who he looks like to me.
Reign spelled ruination for the wider Imperium, which made the Adeptus Custodes take notice.
Oh.
Despite an outright coup and revolt against him, the deadlock was getting steep as the brides of the Emperor's fierce combat skills kept him safe. One custodian made contact with the leader of the brides and brought her into the throne room of the Emperor himself. Nobody knows what transpired in that room, save for Alicia Dominica, the custodian, and the Emperor himself. However, she left the room with her hair bleached pure white from the interaction, marched her battle brides directly.
Well, I'm just gonna say before he finishes that sentence, she came out with white hair. Not that I'm biased or anything, but alright. I think she has experienced either your hair turns white either because of a divine intervention or fear. In this case, meeting the Emperor probably was a combo. But I just wanted to gush over the fact that it's white hair. White hair like me. Yeah, yep.
To Van Dyer himself and said, "You have committed the ultimate heresy. Not only have you turned your back on the Emperor and stepped from his light, you have profaned his name and almost destroyed everything he has striven to build. You have perverted and twisted the path he has laid for mankind to tread. As your decrees have stated, there can be no mercy for such a crime, no pity for such a criminal. I renounce your lordship. You walk in the darkness and cannot be allowed to live. Your sentence has been long overdue, and it is now time for you to die."
Yes, I like her. Forgot what he said the name was. White-haired chick, leader of, I think, the brides of the Emperor. Might have it wrong. Either way, correct me so I can get my info right. Either way, like this character. Want to know more about this character. This one's cool.
Despite not having any time to die, Doge Van Dyer found some time to do so. With his head lopped clean from his body, the brides of the Emperor were no more, and the ecclesiarchy signed a document to stop Van Dyer's reign from happening again. They would no longer be allowed to have men under arms. Men.
Okay, so we have learned a lot up to this point. It's all been so quick that it's a bit difficult to get my brain wrapped around. We have the assassins, we have the Inquisition, we have the daughters, then the brides of the Emperor, and a tyrant who is abusing his power, and the one chick gets her hair turned white and deals with the guy. I'm assuming she's the one who cut his head off because he said the guy died and his head was cut off. That has been a lot, but it's so interesting, and I'm really, really, really enjoying this. And I can't wait to find out who... Yeah, I hope he says that word, because, not sororities, but it looks like it said, maybe it does. Maybe I just don't remember how that word looks. Either way, I'm loving this. This is too great. And the fact that this chick goes into a room and nobody knows what happens, and she comes out with white hair and just dispenses justice against a, quote, heretic. I'm not being biased because she's got white hair. It's still awesome. So yeah, we're going to dive right on into a bit more here. I want to know who this is, and he even has a face. So I'm excited. Let's find out more.
The Adeptus Sororitas, or commonly known as the Sisters of Battle.
Sisters of Battle. Okay, that's the name I know, and that's why I don't know sororitas. I've heard this name, Sister of Battle, nuns with guns, because my friends mentioned it. I hooked onto it, was very interested in it. I'm assuming this is the chick that went in and got the white hair. Love the look. Not sure what she's screaming about. Probably yelling heretic, I'm gonna guess. Oh, okay. So I'm so glad we reached this point. Man, I'm drawing chibi Primarchs, but now I definitely want to do a Sister of Battle. I'll have to do things like those off to the side. Like I even want to do an orc, but I want to first get the Primarchs done, so that will be a later thing. But I'm excited. Just, just, yep. This is how I feel. Like all glittery and happy, and I don't know why, but it just. Once I heard about them from friends, they just briefly mentioned them. Next to when it's like when I heard about the Blood Angels that got my attention. These got my attention. Nuns with guns, man. It's awesome.
Nuns with guns, the fighting force of the church. Despite being the main militant faction, the Sisters of Battle, their organization actually is far more diverse than this and have many more nun-based roles for their members. They are organized by various orders with
Oh, dude! Okay, I'm a little torn. I love the Inquisition armor that I saw because of the hat. Now, I'm not big on this helmet. The helmet, because I like to let my locks out. But the armor, especially this black and red one, the solid black one, the white one's not bad, but I'm more into the dark colors. So the solid black one and that black and red one, that sort of looks like a leather corset. Okay, come on, let's all admit that that's just screaming vampire and looks really close to what I'm wearing on my character right now. Yeah, I'm down for this. Yep. This is speaking my language. This has my attention. Yes, I'm that easy to figure out. I fall in love with groups based on their armors. Except Blood Angels. Sanguinius, he's pretty, but I'm not a gold person. But I liked what bits and pieces I had heard and learned about the Blood Angels and about Sanguinius, and it worked on me. So it's not always about the armor or, the clothing. We could say it's a little over 50% of the reason why I get really into a group. Also, their concepts sometimes are just really fun. Like the orcs. They're a bit comedy relief. They're just genuinely fun. So let's learn more about the nuns with guns.
Specialties in mind, such as the non-militant orders like the Hospitaller, Dialogus, and Familius, including things like helping with surgical equipment and various other medical stuff, Duolingo, and a poli-sci degree. These orders are further separated into smaller orders in an almost Space Marine chapter sense, but tend to have more flexibility due to the nature of their work. And in addition to that, there is flexibility between the orders. It is not uncommon for a member of one of the more battle-hardened orders to switch to a more passive one once they've sustained battlefield injuries or are a bit closer to retirement. As mentioned before, the Sisters of Battle are a part of their own separate organization, the Order's Militant, and feature the highest number of any given system. They are the official fighting force of the ecclesiarchy, and they specialize in wars of faith. Unlike the deployment of Astartes and Guardsmen, the Sisters of Battle are often deployed with members of the Inquisitorial Ordo Hereticus due to the holy war nature of their battles. The Sisters of Battle are suited up with their own form of specialized power armor that gives them almost like a Joan of Arc vibe to the battlefield. Though lacking the more extreme modifications of a Space Marine's power armor, mainly to the fact that sisters are, for the most part, regular humans, the power armor of a sister of battle almost matches the defensive power of an Astartes, but with added flexibility and versatility in exchange for its strength.
Cool.
Some of the patterns of armor do allow for the enhancing of genetics, but this is far from the norm. This, combined with an arsenal of tanks and vehicles that have literal church organ rocket launchers on them.
Dude! Okay, see, I knew when somebody said none with guns, I already thought they were cool. This just sells it. I love the it's one thing I liked about the Catholic school that I went to. The church we had a giant pipe organ in the back, so seeing this is just like flashbacks. But it's also, again, that Gothic architecture. A lot of cathedrals have it. The fact that this looks like it, it's just something about that style. The way you got the curves, the points, all the statues. They don't make buildings like this anymore, and it's sad. But I'm taking a moment just to look at that. That is their tank. That is the best tank. I know some of the other tanks are really cool, but this funny thing is, I'm like, if that's got a pipe organ, does it actually play music? And part of my brain was like, do not play Take Me Out to the Ball Game on a pipe organ, though that would be funny. Now I'm thinking Phantom of the Opera music. I'm alright. Oh, I'm a happy girl right now. This I love this. And the cherubs with the skull mask. It's so crazy.
Really brings across the holy war vibe in a Gothic manner. Accompanying the sister of battle in the fields of war is the holy trinity of weaponry. The bolter, the flamer, and the melta. With such a simple loadout, the Sisters of Battle are able to bring down the glorious flames of the Emperor himself, and his holy light shines on them in other ways during a conflict. Hell, even their jump packs evoke angelic imagery as opposed to the more clunky jetpacks ones that Space Marines have. In times of great turmoil or impossibility...
She has wings, and you guys know I'm a sucker for wings. I just had to stop and say, yes, I see the wings. I think I've seen this picture before, at least that part with the angel. I don't remember the people below, but wings, and it's so cool. I love the whole look of this. It's so great. I'm in awe, and I'm just got the biggest smile on my face right now. This makes me happy.
A living saint of the sororitas itself might appear on the battlefield surrounded by a litany of doves and cherubs. An almost comical scene of holy glory followed by literal hellfire. The Sisters are a fascinating organization because they take what is normally seen as a benevolent force and turn it on its head to be a horrifying method of war. Because the Sisters are so zealous, they are nigh impossible to persuade and almost never fall to chaos. In fact, any deviation from the Imperial faith may see you killed outright as you are deemed a heretic, and sometimes Sisters have even less patience than the Inquisition does. To the Adeptus Sororitas, no punishment is too extreme for blasphemy and heretical behavior. Whether it's lobotomizing traitors to use as shock troops or attaching them physically to agonizing pain engines so they can die for the Emperor, anything goes. The most fascinating part of the Sisters, however, is their faith. We discussed how orcs often make things happen through belief because of their sheer number of them.
Right.
The Sisters create miracles where they walk. They are not many psychers like orcs, but they are excessively devout and make up for that. Bullets barely miss targets they absolutely should hit. Guns jam, tanks malfunction, enemies slip and fall. The scene from Pulp Fiction is an accurate portrayal of what happens when the Sisters fight.
I'd knock that shit off if I was you.
Die, you
motherfucker! Did he hit you? Nope, didn't hit me. Did it hit you? Nope. You good? Yeah, I'm good. Let's get him.
One of the most prominent figures is the Triumph of St. Catherine, a literal open casket with the saint of a sister's order held aloft by lobotomized servant cherubs and protected by bodyguards of the faithful.
Wow.
The devotion to the emperor swells so strong that acts of faith are made manifest, and sometimes angels themselves. When the sisters go to war, they have thundering organs and litanies screeching out into the battlefield, hymns and songs. They rabble off prayers on their lips and burn holy fire across the area. They spray holy water down from horns atop their vehicles. It is a genuine holy war, a procession of death. Saint Celestine is an undying deity, arriving precisely where she is needed and returning to the fold after each death. When she dies, she sees a crying young girl atop a mountain of bones, her bones, after every one of her deaths. She climbs this mountain every time to help comfort this crying child and is rebirthed upon the battlefield. And one day, her deaths will create a mountain so large that even she will not be able to traverse it. Is she a demon of the god emperor? Perhaps, but she'll be shot for saying so. She is genuinely and literally faith made manifest.
Wow.
Some sisters may make a mistake, however, and find themselves questioning their faith, disobeying a command, and even leaving their order. These sisters are sent for reconditioning and are known as the Sisters Repentia. They generally face the front of the
Okay, before he goes into them real quick. Okay, the whole holy appearing on the battlefield and just divine, boom, it's here, it's kicking your butt. The end part there, where they climb a mountain of bones to comfort a crying girl, that's them, and makes them become reborn on the battlefield. So the thing is, one day she will die to the point that the hill will be too high for her to climb, thus she will never be reborn. But she's basically, as he said, fate manifest. That is so crazy and wild, and it just shows that the way this works in Warhammer is if you believe or you hold enough faith, you can cause things to happen, like how the Eldar created Slanesh, and this faith has created this deity like person to appear, the saint to appear on a battlefield. And I'm starting to really believe a lot of people's theories that Big E has become, in a way, one of the gods because of the long time that people have been devoutly worshiping him, which would make him become a god because of faith. It's very similar to Final Fantasy XIV, where in order to get primals to appear, you have to offer up, well, a lot of magic or mana crystals, but you have to have worshippers, people who basically pray the primal into existence. It makes me think of that, and it's just that's wild, and the sight on the battlefield had to be mind-blowing. But so there is now an opposite to these women, these chicks, which I gotta admit that looks really cool. And I like it too. It's like, okay, I'm kind of digging the imagery here, and the art is really good too. So, I want to know more about these ladies here.
Line head on and seek retribution and forgiveness from the Emperor himself.
Oh.
Though their actions were heretical, repentia on the fields of battle is an indication of an individual wanting to become forgiven. They run aloft with torture devices attached to their bodies and a chain sword the size of their body, completely armorless, to determine if this is how they die or if the Emperor will forgive them. Even the most famous champion of the sisters, that Saint Celestine, was a repentia. Even she questioned her faith. And if she can do it, so can you. Just don't run away again. They don't really do third chances. The Sisters of Battle are martyrdom-enthused zealots that create miracles in their tread. Their devotion is boundless and also a direct source of their power. A whole army of power-armored soldiers shooting, burning, and melting all in their path is bad enough, but it enters a whole different level when God is on your side.
Literally.
By bolter shell, flamer burst, and melta blast, the mutant, the heretic, and the traitor alike are cleansed of their sin of existence. So has it been for 5 millennia, so shall it be until the end of time. The Imperium devolving into wars of faith is to push its agenda further. Where the xenophobic nature of humanity was once strong, it has now been magnified, and there are plenty of aliens in this galaxy. 6,000 years prior to the current events of 40k, a planet was found by an AdMech exploration vessel. The life forms on the planet were seen using tools, but they were still very primitive, so the planet was marked for destruction to pave the way for the Imperial war machine. However, this was thrown off because of an extreme warp storm and that whole Doge Van Dyer thing. Flash forward to modern day, and an unknown but highly advanced vessel was shot down near an Imperial mining world, and the bodies on this vessel matched those life forms found on that primitive world. The native creatures on that planet were able to evolve rapidly due to them being unobstructed, and their highly advanced gear posed a new threat to the Imperial. Advancing over these years with a remarkable speed, these are the new upstarts in the galaxy, looking to make a name for themselves, all in the name of the greater good. These are the...
Okay. Now, we're about to go into a totally new thing, so I think this is where we're going to stop the video for sure. Okay, I know we went over so much. Like I said, the Assassins, the Inquisition, but Sisters of Battle stole it for me. I like them too much. They're too awesome. If any of these are your guys' favorite, let me know which one. And feel free to also tell me more about the Sisters of Battle, particularly the white-haired chick, because it's not because she has white hair. It just sounds like as a leader, she's probably got some crazy stories, like some good reads there. I really don't know exactly fully what to say. I'm just kind of in awe. And I knew that they were nuns of guns, but I did not understand what they did on battle because my friends were being vague about it. They wanted me to discover it on their own, so thank you to them. That divine just showing up and creating miracles literally on a battlefield, and you have these tanks that look like cathedrals with pipe organs, and then you got the other ones trying to repent that are running out there in torture devices, and the whole religious theme there is just really kind of on point for a religious theme, but also just mind-blowing, not just in what it can do, but in the grandeur of it, because again, it's one of the things I like about Warhammer is nothing is plain, everything's ornate, everything is, like I said, grandeur on a great scale. It's just really beautiful to look at. It's just, it makes everything very stunning and just, it grabs your eye. It's not like just modern today buildings and stuff, or just plain. And I know some people like the modern look, but again, I'm a sucker for the old architecture and the old styles, and give me that Gothic style. So all of this, my Gothic heart is so happy. But I think this is in the point in the video where we're going to do a couple of things. Yeah, you thought I was going to wrap it up. No, first of all, I want to thank you guys. If you made it to this point, you guys know you rock. But I did promise, and it should be coming up right about now. Yes, I made a new chibi. And I know my friend's going to be very, very happy. I made Russ. Yes, I was very excited to make this chibi. I saw the artwork and immediately knew I had to do it. Plus, it is my friend's favorite, and I also wanted to do, he's been great to me, so I hope he enjoys seeing it. I will be sending it to him later after I let him be surprised by this video. But I didn't just make him. It's probably already starting to show on the screen if I haven't already, but he couldn't be by himself now, could he? Yes, I made a little chibi wolf. It's my first chibi wolf. I am not good with chibi animals, so this was my first attempt at one. It took a lot to get those paws down right and even the head angle, so that took a bit of work. Now, because of the size of Russ and the wolf, they would be too big to put on my head. So if I did do it, I could see putting Russ on my head and maybe the wolf on my shoulder. But yeah, I can't have both on top of my head. I did not think of size when I drew them, and after I was done, I was like, okay, you both are not gonna fit. My cat head's not that big. But I did enjoy making those, and I hope you guys have uh enjoyed looking at them. I will be doing more chibis. I will do a big showcase once I'm done making all my chibis and let you guys see all of them that I've done over the course of me diving down the 40k rabbit hole. But yes, that is all for this video. So it is that point now in the video to say those magic words, which is if you like that video, leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.